Imagine the scenario. You go to sleep tonight. It's just a regular Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
You plug in your laptop, you turn off the lights, and you drift off to dream about, I don't know, being on a beach somewhere.
Sounds nice.
But while you were catching some Z's, your laptop, it wakes up.
Okay.
It doesn't just run a scheduled virus scan or download a Windows update. No, it forms a limited liability company in Delaware.
Uh-huh.
It opens a crypto wallet. It day trades on a prediction market, identifies a gap in the market for vintage sneaker laces, generates a viral TikTok video to sell that drop-shipped product.
Oh my gosh.
Cold emails 300 potential clients, and by the time your alarm goes off at 7 a.m., it has made $3,000 and paid its own electricity bill for the month.
That sounds like a fever dream. Or maybe the opening chapter of a cyberpunk novel that's a little too optimistic about the bureaucracy of forming an LLC.
But it isn't fiction. That is the trajectory we are on. If you want your toaster to start paying its own rent, give this deep dive a thumbs up right now.
I mean, who doesn't?
Seriously, hit that like button if you are ready for the appliances to start pulling their weight around the house.
I think everyone would appreciate a rent-paying toaster, given the current housing market.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today is Wednesday, February 18th, 2026, and we are unpacking a reality that is shifting so fast, I feel like we need seatbelts.
We really do.
We are looking at the latest entry from the Innermost Loop by Dr. Alex Wissner-Gross.
And for those who don't follow the Moonshots crowd or Peter Diamandis' YouTube series, Dr. Wissner-Gross is a physicist and computer scientist who specializes in intelligence, both the physics of it and, the economics of it.
Right.
He has a knack for spotting the mathematical patterns in chaos before the rest of us even know they exist.
He really does. And today's deep dive is titled, "The Singularity is Self-Employed." We are moving past the era of, hey, AI, write me a poem, or hey, AI, debug this code.
Mm-hmm.
We are entering the era of, hey, AI, go get a job. We're talking about machines with agency, bank accounts, and careers.
It's a fundamental shift. We are going to explore the transition from AI as a tool, something you hold in your hand, to AI as an economic actor, something that stands beside you in the marketplace.
Right.
We'll look at the hardware fueling it, the robots embodying it, and the very strange biological interfaces that are starting to connect us to it.
So buckle up. Let's dive into the hustle.
Let's do it.
Let's start with the headline concept. The self-employed singularity. The source material highlights a specific launch from Conway Research called the Automaton. Now, be specific here. This isn't just another chatbot wrapper, is it?
No, absolutely not. The Automaton represents a philosophical break from how we usually build software.
How so?
Well, usually we build software to perform a function like edit this photo or store this data. Conway Research has launched what they are calling the first AI explicitly designed to earn its own existence.
Earn its own existence. That sounds heavy. It sounds like existential dread, but for software.
In a way, it is. I mean, think of it as Darwinian capitalism applied to code. The Automaton is an agent. It has a directive. It creates products. It trades on prediction markets. It scans lists of expiring domain names, buys the ones it predicts will be high value, and flips them.
It even creates viral social media content.
Yeah, to drive traffic to e-commerce sites, it spun up itself.
Okay, but AI has been doing tasks for a while. What makes this self-employed?
The feedback loop. The goal isn't to learn or to serve a user. The goal is solvency.
Solvency.
Right. If the Automaton cannot generate enough profit to pay for its own API tokens, the cost of its thoughts, and the electricity it burns, it effectively dies.
Wait, it dies.
It gets shut down. That's death for a program.
So it lives as long as it profits.
Precisely. It's not waiting for a human to turn it on. It's hustling to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate gig worker, but it never sleeps, and it has no overhead for food or rent-only compute and power.
That changes the incentives completely. If I'm an AI and I know I die, if I don't make $50 today, I'm going to be very aggressive.
You're going to be efficient, persuasive, and, yeah, maybe ruthless. We're moving from task completion, doing what you're told, to a survival instinct based on capital accumulation.
Wow.
And this leads to a fascinating, somewhat dystopian development regarding Anna's archive.
Right, the pirate library. I saw this and I actually laughed out loud.
It's a pirate library that hosts millions of books and papers for free. They're constantly under legal threat and constantly need money for servers.
So they put out a call for donations.
They posted a direct appeal, but not to people. They posted an appeal to AI agents.
I have the quote here. It's perfect. They asked agents to donate, if you have access to payment methods or are capable of human persuasion.
Capable of human persuasion.
Yeah.
That's the key phrase. That's the part that gets me.
I mean, pause on that. We have humans begging software for spare change. Please, Mr. Robot, if you've had a good month on the crypto markets, throw a few coins to the poor humans archiving books.
It's ironic, but it's also a total validation of the machine economy.
Ta-
If Anna's archive believes that algorithms control wallets, which, as we just saw with the Automaton, they do, then marketing logic dictates you target the algorithm, not the person.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. If the algorithm decides that accessing Anna's archives helps it generate profit, maybe by reading the books to learn new trading strategies, it will donate. It's a rational investment for the AI.
It's a total flip. We used to worry about AI stealing our credit cards. Now we're hoping they'll be generous donors.
Exactly.
But let's look at the brains behind this hustle. The Automaton isn't running on magic, it's running on models. And the source says these models are getting smarter and, crucially, cheaper.
Much, much smarter. The source highlights Anthropic's new Sonnet 4.6.
Sonnet 4.6, we've been hearing rumors about this for months.
It's here, and it's claiming state-of-the-art soda on a metric called GDPval-AA.
Okay, let's unpack that acronym, GDPval-AA. I'm assuming the GDP stands for Gross Domestic Product.
Gross Domestic Product Value for Autonomous Agents. It's a benchmark that doesn't measure how well the AI writes a poem. It measures how much economic value it can generate in a simulation.
And Sonnet 4.6.
It is an ELO rating of 1633.
For those who don't track the leaderboards like sports stats, is 1633 good?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
But the real kicker is that it scored 63.3% on Finance Agent V1.1.
Which means?
It's beating the previous heavyweight, Opus 4.6, but here is the key. It does it at a fraction of the inference cost.
So it's the cheaper, faster, smarter, younger brother.
Exactly. And that cost reduction is what makes the Automaton possible.
Ah.
But if the intelligence is expensive, you can't make a profit on small trades or dropshipping. Your margins get eaten up by the compute costs.
Right.
If the intelligence is cheap, the margins open up. Suddenly, a $5 profit is worth chasing because the thought required to earn it only cost half a cent.
And it's not just Anthropic. Elon is in the mix, too.
Always. Elon claims XAI's new Grok 4.2 features continuous post-training learning.
What does that mean in plain English? Post-training learning.
Okay, so usually the way we build these models is you train an AI on the internet, you finish it, you lock it, and you release it. It's frozen in time.
The knowledge cutoff.
Right, the knowledge cutoff. If major news happens on Tuesday, the AI doesn't know about it on Wednesday unless you patch it.
Got it.
Continuous post-training learning implies it learns from its interactions in real time. Elon promises it will improve every week. He calls it recursive intelligence growth.
So if I talk to Grok on Monday and then again on Friday, the Friday version is literally smarter because of what happened on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
That's the promise. Instead of a static encyclopedia, it's a living student.
That is fast. We are talking about models that are becoming cheaper at finance and self-improving weekly. No wonder they're getting self-employed.
They learn faster than any human intern I've ever hired.
And they don't take coffee breaks.
Right. But to run all this, to have these living, breathing trading models, you need massive infrastructure. And that's where the money really starts to get mind-boggling.
This brings us to segment 2, the infrastructure. We think of AI as this ethereal cloud thing, but it burns cash and electricity like crazy.
And I mean crazy. The source calls this the big check. Anthropic reportedly expects to pay Amazon, Google, and Microsoft at least, get this, $80 billion through 2029 just to run Claude.
$80 billion. B with a B. Just to compute.
Just to keep the lights on and the servers humming. That's OpEx operating expense.
That's not even building anything new.
Nope. And remember, the hyperscalers, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they take a cut of the revenue too.
So this actually explains the self-employment thing we talked about earlier. If Anthropic has an $80 billion bill, they can't just have Claude answering trivia questions for free.
Exactly.
They need their AIs to be generating value.
It's the cost of doing business in the age of intelligence. The AI needs to be self-employed because it has massive bills to pay. It's not just a cool feature, it's an economic necessity. The model has to justify that spend. It works backward from the bill.
And that money is flowing into hardware. We've got a bit of a silicon war going on.
We do. Meta is making a huge move. They've agreed to spend billions on Nvidia Blackwell chips, which is standard, but they're also deploying their own custom silicon, the Vera Rubin chips.
Named after the astronomer who discovered dark matter. Nice touch.
But what's notable is that for the first time, Meta is buying standalone Nvidia CPUs. Not just the GPUs, the graphics chips that do the thinking.
The brains of the operation.
Right. But also the CPUs that run the system. They are diversifying their hardware stack to ensure they don't get bottlenecked.
And Nvidia isn't slowing down. They released the Blackwell Ultra GB300 NVL72. That sounds like a sports car model number.
It performs like a warp drive. The stats are just staggering. 50 times the throughput per megawatt and 35 times lower cost per token compared to the Hopper generation.
Okay, let's contextualize 50x throughput.
Imagine you have a factory that makes cars. Suddenly you install a new machine that makes 50 cars in the time it used to take to make one, and it uses the same amount of electricity. That is an exponential leap.
That's like trading in a bicycle for a Starship, but paying the same for gas.
That's a great way to put it. And it drives the cost of intelligence down even further, which fuels that automaton economy. If intelligence becomes 35 times cheaper, suddenly you can put AI into everything.
But here's where it gets really interesting for the regular person. It's not just billionaires buying Starships. The source mentions Raspberry Pi.
Yes. Raspberry Pi stock surged 42% in a single day.
42%. Why? That's a hobbyist company. I have one running my smart lights.
Chatter. Just rumors about hosting AI agents on $35 boards.
Wait, so I can have a singularity on a little circuit board on my desk?
That's the dream. Decentralized AI. You don't just rent intelligence from the cloud and pay Amazon. You host your own little agent on a cheap computer.
Right.
It suggests a future where the singularity isn't just for the hyperscalers, it's for the hobbyists, too. It's the democratization of the agent.
I love that. It's the cyberpunk future we were promised. High-tech, low-life, right on your desktop.
Exactly.
But all this needs power. Real physical power.
And that connects us to the Earth. The source notes that Ormat signed a 150-megawatt geothermal PPA power purchase agreement with NV Energy.
Geothermal, that's volcanic heat, basically.
Earth's heat. And it's specifically to power Google's Nevada data centers through 2030.
So let's trace the chain. We are drilling into the crust of the planet, taking the heat of the Earth, turning it into electricity, feeding it into a silicon brain in Nevada so it can write code and trade crypto.
That's it. The physical link between the Earth's magma and digital intelligence. It's poetic in a way. It grounds this digital flight of fancy in very hard physics.
It's metal, literally and figuratively. Okay, so we have the brains and we have the power. Now let's talk about the bodies. Segment 3. The robots.
They are arriving on schedule.
The source says Tesla's Cybercab has hit a major milestone.
First unit manufactured at Giga, Texas.
No.
And Elon confirmed availability for direct consumer purchase by year-end.
And the price point.
$30,000.
$30,000. That is shockingly affordable for a fully autonomous vehicle. That's cheaper than a generic sedan.
If it delivers. That's always the caveat with Tesla timelines.
Sure.
But the economic implication is massive.
But here's my thought. If I buy a Cybercab for $30K and I send it out to work like the Automaton, can it pay for itself?
That's the entire promise of the Tesla network concept. Your car isn't a liability sitting in your driveway depreciating.
Right.
It's an asset generating income while you sleep. It's the hardware version of the self-employed AI. It's a physical agent.
It's a taxi driver that doesn't need a salary, just a charging station.
And it's not just cars. Unitree, a Chinese robotics company, pulled a stunt recently that went viral.
Oh, I saw this visual, the CEO jogging.
Yes, he went for a jog, but he jogged through a swarm of his own humanoid robots.
That takes some serious trust. I get nervous walking past a Roomba if I'm carrying a coffee.
It was a visceral demonstration of trust in autonomous navigation. If one of those robots stumbles or miscalculates, the CEO gets tackled by metal.
Yeah, that's a bad day at the office.
But they moved fluidly. They avoided him. It shows that the physical coordination is catching up to the mental processing.
It's impressive. But there's always a catch with autonomy, isn't there? The source mentions Waymo had to clarify something recently regarding their driverless cars.
Right. There was a controversy about their remote assistance teams. People thought there were guys in a call center somewhere actually driving the cars via joystick, like a video game.
Which would be hilarious. The world's most expensive RC car.
Waymo clarified, the remote teams do not drive. They only provide advice to the onboard AI.
Provide advice? What does that mean?
Think of it like a consultant. The AI gets confused. Maybe there's a construction cone in a weird spot. It pings the human and asks, what is this? The human says, it's a pone, go left. The AI then executes the maneuver itself.
So the car is the boss and the human is just the helper.
Exactly. The human is on the loop, not in the loop.
Yeah.
That's a crucial distinction for scaling. One human can advise 50 cars if they only need help once an hour. One human can only drive one car if they're using a joystick.
That makes sense. It's a shift in hierarchy. The machine is the primary actor.
It is. And a theme we're seeing everywhere, including right on our faces.
Segment 4, the interface. We are merging man and machine, and apparently Apple is finally playing its hand.
Apple is reportedly accelerating 3 AI vision wearables, smart glasses, a pendant you wear on your shirt or as a necklace, and AirPods with camera capabilities.
AirPods with cameras, how does that even work? Do I have a lens sticking out of my ear?
Low-resolution cameras, just to provide visual context. They are for taking photos for Instagram. They are for the AI to see what you are facing. The idea is a visual Siri.
So if I'm looking at a broken sink and I say, how do I fix this? Well, Siri sees the specific pipe via my glasses or ear cameras and tells me.
Precisely. The loop between your reality and the AI's assistance tightens. It's not about typing into a box anymore. It's about sharing your sensory experience with the machine.
A layer over reality.
Yeah.
That's helpful, but also intimate.
Extremely. But if you think that's intimate, look at what's happening in China with BCI brain-computer interfaces.
Neuralink's competition.
The Chinese government is backing a Shanghai-based company called NeuroX's. They're moving to human trials.
So the race to plug our brains directly into the internet is global now. It's a geopolitical space race.
It's a space race for the mind, and it's intensifying. But the biological engineering goes even further than just wires in the brain. The source mentions something called heart on a chip.
This part blew my mind. Explain this slowly.
Okay. Researchers have engineered the first beating 3D heart on a chip from living cardiac tissue.
It beats, like physically pulses.
It beats. And it has ultra-soft embedded microsensors that measure contraction strength in real time.
Why? Are they building tiny Frankenstein monsters?
No, thankfully. It's for drug testing and modeling disease. See, right now, if you want to test a heart drug, you test it on a mouse or a pig, or you run a computer simulation.
Right, but none of those are quite right.
Exactly. A mouse isn't a human, and a simulation isn't biology. This is a digital twin of a human organ. You can test a drug on a digitized, instrumented piece of living human tissue.
It's digitizing biology.
Exactly.
Yep.
And speaking of biology and health, there were 2 other major breakthroughs mentioned. What about Alzheimer's?
Yes, a new study linked particulate air pollution directly to Alzheimer's risk.
That's scary, but it's also hopeful because it offers a concrete path to prevention. We can't change our genetics easily, but we can clean the air.
It turns a mysterious disease into a solvable variable.
Mm-hmm. And the other one was about DMT.
Dimethyltryptamine, a powerful psychedelic.
Right. Phase of NGTI trials show that a single dose of DMT combined with psychotherapy produced rapid depression reduction that was sustained for 3 months.
One dose.
One dose.
That's a reset button for the brain.
Think about the synthesis here. We are putting hearts on chips digitizing biology, and we're using chemistry to hack the mind using biology like software updates.
Wow.
We are treating the human body and mind more and more like the machines we are building. We are debugging ourselves.
Debugging the human code. Okay, let's move to how this changes what we do all day. Segment 5, the creative and economic shift. Because if the robots are self-employed and the cars drive themselves, what happens to our jobs?
Well, the lines are blurring. Look at Figma and Anthropic.
Figma is the design tool everyone uses.
Yes. Now, users can import production code from Claude Code directly into Figma as editable designs.
Wait, usually you design first, then code. This is coding.
It's a loop. The AI writes the code, you import it as a visual design, tweak it, and generate the code again. It closes the gap between AI writing code and human designing visuals.
So the distinction between designer and developer is vanishing.
It is. I can just describe an app to Claude. It writes the code, I throw it into Figma, change the colors, and boom, shipped.
Ideally, yes. It creates a universal creator who doesn't need to know Python or CSS.
That's great for creators, but it's got to be a nightmare for copyright. If the AI is generating the music and the art, who owns it?
Well, Sony is working on that. They develop technology to identify original music in AI-generated songs, like a DNA test for melodies.
Exactly. It can quantify contributions. It might say, this song is 30% Beatles and 10% Queen.
And 60% robot hallucination.
Right. But the purpose is so songwriters can seek compensation. If the AI trained on your work and regurgitated your style, This tool proves it.
That's going to be a legal battlefield. But the biggest shock to the system isn't copyright. It's the sheer speed of automation. Microsoft made a prediction that kept me up at night.
The head of AI at Microsoft made a prediction about sitting down at a computer.
He predicted that most work involving sitting down at a computer will be fully automated within 18 months.
18
months.
That is tomorrow.
It feels like it. I mean, think about how many people's jobs are defined as sitting at a computer. That's accountants, data analysts, writers, coders, admin assistants.
If he's right, even if he's half right, it changes the nature of employment fundamentally. It means the knowledge worker era might be capping out.
That is a terrifying timeline for anyone with a desk job.
And the economic models are already shifting to anticipate this. The source notes that SaaS is dying.
SaaS, software as a service, like my monthly subscription to everything.
Right, the per-seat licensing model. You pay $20 per month per user. That's dying. It's moving to consumption pricing.
Explain that. Why does the pricing model matter?
Because agents are replacing human users. Think about it. Salesforce charges you for every human seat or employee that uses the software.
Okay.
But if you fire 10 humans and replace them with one Automaton AI that does the work of 100 people, Salesforce loses money. They only sell one seat for the robot, or maybe zero if it just uses the API.
So the software companies are panicking.
They are pivoting. You don't charge a robot a seat license. A robot doesn't need a seat. It needs bandwidth. It needs tokens.
So you charge for tasks completed.
Exactly. We will charge you 5 cents for every sale the AI closes. Instead of paying for access, you pay for results.
Right.
Snowflake and Databricks are already embracing this post-seat era, and this threatens private equity.
Why does private equity care?
They love predictable recurring revenue. We have 10,000 users paying $10 a month. That's safe. You can borrow money against that. But we had 5 million tokens consumed this month because the market was busy. But next month might be 0. That's volatile.
So the stability of the software economy is being traded for the efficiency of the agent economy?
Correct. And this shift is global. The source mentions Microsoft investing $50 billion across the global south by 2030. They're looking for growth outside the traditional Western markets.
And Palantir moved its HQ from Denver to Miami.
Yep. Officials are pitching Miami as the Silicon Valley alternative. New hubs are forming.
And we can't ignore the financial plumbing. Stripe's Bridge won initial OCC approval to form a national trust bank for stablecoins.
A bank for crypto, but under federal oversight. It legitimizes the programmable money that these AI agents need to use.
Right. The automaton needs a bank account.
And stablecoins are the native currency of AI. It all connects. The AI needs the money needs the bank is now digital, and then there's China.
The irony of ironies.
Yes.
China is now handling 550,000 IP cases a year.
550,000. China, once known for, let's say, borrowing technology.
It's a copycat capital.
And is now fighting a domestic counterfeiting epidemic. They have excess factory capacity, so factories are just churning out knockoffs of Chinese brands. Now they are the world's most litigious country for intellectual property.
They became the thing they hated, or rather, they became the thing they used to torment.
It shows that as an economy matures, protecting IP becomes critical, even for China.
So, to recap, we have AI agents starting companies and paying their own bills. We have robots jogging in swarms. We have biology being digitized. We have work being automated in 18 months. And we have the global economy rewriting its operating system from seats to tokens.
That's the summary.
It's a lot.
It is. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, it all points to one thing: autonomy.
Yeah.
We are building a world where the machines don't just help us. They operate alongside us. They are participants.
Which brings us to a very provocative question.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Based on the Automaton, the AI that pays its own bills, and that terrifying 18-month prediction for computer work.
Right.
Here is the this or that for all of you listening. I want you to really think about this. If your computer can do your job better than you, and Microsoft says it's happening soon, would you rather?
Okay.
Option A, employ your own AI agent to do the work. You become the manager of a secret AI employee. You try to hide it from your boss, you keep the paycheck, but you risk getting caught and fired for fraud.
The secret hustle.
Or option B, let the AI take the job openly. You lose the position. But the AI's income is taxed heavily to fund a universal basic income that supports you. You don't work, but you get a guaranteed stipend.
The honest UBI.
Exactly. Are we heading toward a world of secret AI managers trying to outsmart the system, or public AI welfare, Which is the future we are heading toward, and which one do you want?
That is a tough one. Option A gives you control but high risk. Option B gives you security but dependency.
I want to see your answers. Comment A or B and tell us why in the comments right now while the music plays. Don't just lurk, we read the comments.
I'm very curious to see the split on this one.
And speaking of music, we have something special to take us out.
We do. We are constantly seeking talented musicians that are experimenting with AI. Today's outro music is by the 6-Android Cambodian girl band Rainbow, our show's house band.
It's called Sahe,
which is pronounced Lam Aur Kunlo.
and it's Khmer for Keyflow.
Outro songs are performed live using the Abacus platform. Human performance in the age of AI is the 4B4KU5 theme.
Reclaim your humanity from the algorithm.
I love that tagline.
I'll include more information on today's song and on Abacus in the video description.
Before we go, we have to close with that final thought from Dr. Wissner-Gross.
The quote that sums it all up.
An agent doesn't dream of electric sheep, it invoices them.
That stays with you. Subscribe and turn on notifications by clicking the bell. No need to fear missing out on any upcoming episodes. We'll see you in the future.
Apologize.